Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tyler Martin. I am a control sales engineer here at Long, and I've got Tim Vogel with KMC Controls to tell us about KMC Commander BAS interface. Tim.
Thank you, Tyler, and thank you everyone for the opportunity to come and be with you guys this morning. It's an honor to be here and be partnered with Long. We've been partners with Long for a long, long time, and we're grateful for that partnership. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about our IoT and automation platform that we call KMC Commander, which really at its most basic is a cloud-based building automation system. One of the primary things that Commander is typically used for, while it can certainly sit alone on top of controls that are in a building, is it's used to enhance existing systems. When we went down the road of IoT and automation, KMC Controls, we've been in business for over 50 years. But when we went down this cloud-based road about 6 years ago, we knew that there were several things about traditional systems that we could improve upon with this new technology and then give people all the new benefits that IoT was really promising. And a lot of those things included, siloed or disconnected systems within inside a single building, or even if you have an entire portfolio, each of those buildings could be running their own BAS system. And so how can we now bring all of that under a single pane of glass so you have a consistent experience, maybe across several different vendors? And KMC Commander, we've to date have now been able to bring in over 130 different manufacturers and brands into our platform. And we're very proud of that. Additionally, if you wanted to get a cloud native visibility or control, a lot of times it took an ad hoc development cost, which could be very expensive. Because what you have to do is do all these individual integrations and then build your HTML dashboards and then also make it available per user, which could then add just additional cost in general. And so what we've tried to do is streamline that by making it easy and affordable to connect to an existing building and then have a consistent experience in the cloud, which also includes mobile friendliness, tablet friendliness, bringing you schedules, trends, and alarms all at your fingertips on your phone or on your tablet, wherever you have internet access. A couple other things that many times traditional systems lack in is security defaults and how they're handling security, particularly when you start opening up to the internet, and which then kind of just inherently makes it very unfriendly for IT staff or IT professionals that are responsible for the security of a building or a network. And so what we've done is we've prioritized how we handle those outbound communications, how we even communicate with the building automation system that's on premise with our cloud-based system, so that 95% of what you do is done in the cloud, but then everything else is just a communication into the gateway. So you're not having those TeamViewer accounts or VPNs that are open and allowing two-way communication. It's all gateway initiated communication to the cloud, where it's then calling out with new data and then pulling new data down to itself. And because of this, again, we've been able to bring complicated visibility through TeamViewer or VPN into very simple, consistent experience. And many times because of what we're able to do and the systems that we're able to sit on, we can extend resources of the existing building automation system. So if you have something that's been out there 10 or 15 years, chances are pretty good that we're able to connect to it and then provide you all this cloud-based technology. But you don't have to go and do a rip and replace just to get it. That could be expensive. It could be complicated. We're talking capital expenditure at that point. But we believe, and we've designed Commander to be a product that can be put in at an operational cost, so that you don't have to worry about getting your capital team involved or really planning to replace an entire system. And then with that, we're also able to add all kinds of integrations, whereas typically with existing system, again, those are done ad hoc, and it can be either impossible to do, or if it is possible, it's just impractical because of how much that cost is. And because we're cloud-based in the way that we handle the data and make it available, those integrations are now possible, which then leads to a huge amount of flexibility and scalability that's inherent in our platform, so that now you can really not only extend and stretch your existing resources, but now add to the value of the system and solution as a whole as you add on things like cloud-based security or indoor air quality or analytics, whatever it may be. So that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish with Commander. But now let's talk a little bit about what exactly it is. So again, it is a cloud-based platform. There is a gateway that gets installed on premise to collect all the data from the BAS system. And then once it's collected, it then communicates to the cloud again, where a majority of your interaction takes place. We're an Intel market-ready solution. Intel's been a partner of ours from the beginning as we've looked at this IoT technology. And the platform as it sits today, we're bringing in over 25 million data points a day and logging and trending those long term. Our API is being utilized and called over 1 billion times a month. We have over 800 buildings that are utilizing the software. And we've also, this is very important when you're talking about a SaaS platform that's cloud-based, SaaS being software as a service, is that it has to be reliable. You have to have a very high level of uptime. And our team's very proud to say that we're at 99.9% uptime. And again, we don't necessarily care what data we're bringing in. We want to be as agnostic as possible in terms of what we could sit on top of. And that's where the over 130 different manufacturers comes in. Now, once you're bringing all this data into the gateway and it's communicating to the cloud, the next step is then to build out your visualizations. And we've tried to build them out in a way that is easy to understand, easy to set up, easy to deploy across multiple users. And we do that by using what we call cards and decks. So across the top of this screenshot here, you see a variety of different cards. They come in a custom card or a trend card. You have a virtual thermostat where you can see what your space temperature is and then change your heating and cooling set point. You could turn your lights on and off. I mean, you could run any kind of command through Commander back into the BAS system. And then that bottom row is what we call a deck. And what it is a graphical interface that it's a revolving carousel of cards so that now you can get a huge number of cards available to you, but then just rotate through them quickly, which is a fantastic experience on your phone or on your tablet. Now, this is just some of the cards that are available. You could also set up numerous other cards. So you have larger trend cards where you can look at things over not just the last 24 hours like our smaller trend card does. You can look at it for the 24 hours, for a week, for a month, and then run very basic analytics on those, looking at, what's my average over the course of this last week or this last month by day. You could also set up weather cards so you could see what the current weather is outside, what the predicted forecast is going to be for the next 3 days. You can look at what we call key performance indicator or KPI cards, oftentimes showing current values coming out of the system, or if there are calculated values inside of a JACE, for instance, like with JACE Analytics, those can be brought up as well. And you could have a gauge card. And then our latest card is that big one you see right there with the screenshot looking out across the yard and the sidewalk. That is our web card, and it was developed to bring in those cloud-based security camera feeds so that now you could have live camera feeds put directly into your dashboard. So this dashboard is an example of a chiller plant and how you can look at multiple aspects of that. And perhaps you're now looking at the main entrance to the chiller area from outside. You could also, with this card, bring in PDFs. You could embed videos from YouTube that gives you, training videos or, individual messages or playlists that you want to put there. It just makes it very flexible. So now you can build out the dashboard exactly as you want. And flexibility and customization is exactly what our system has been built for, whether it's the trends, which you see there on the top left, look at exact parameters that you want to see, whether it's schedules, which is very drag and drop, like a Google or Outlook calendar, where you could set things out and set them to repeat on a daily or weekly basis, a monthly or yearly basis even. And set things to run only when they need to run at the parameters they need to run, but then quickly change all of those schedules whenever you need to. We talked about dashboarding there on the upper right, but then also in our system, we have an alarm manager, which can send a text or email alarm to any single person or group of people that need to get an alarm if a device or a data point goes outside a certain parameters that, again, you set. So while it's completely customizable, it also gives you a consistent experience across all the buildings that you're looking at, whether it's a single building that maybe you are a tenant in or that you own, or if it's an entire portfolio for a regional or national account. We work with um, small fast food chains. We have an excellent partner that can deploy Commander in 6 to 8 hours in a single, from soup to nuts, in a single location. We're also working with the third largest school system, deploying to as many buildings as we can across 600 of their campuses. So it's very flexible, very scalable from a single building to an entire enterprise application. It is built out to handle it all. Additionally, and this is, I think, a major competitive advantage of ours, is the way that we handle that data and make it available, not only to our partners like Long, but also the end user and an entire ecosystem of integration and add-on partners. So if you want to push all this data into an analytics platform, you could certainly do that. And then that analytics platform can go and do what it does really, really well, whether it's finding root cause analysis or giving you a VAV scorecard, whatever it is. Also, we have what we call Commander AQ, which is an add-on that we at KMC Controls have built, which is it uses all the data that Commander brings in, but only looks at the indoor air quality aspects and then rates the building based on 3 categories: air freshness, air quality, and occupancy wellness. And then we wrap those 3 scores up into an overall indoor air quality score. So now you're getting the benefits of cloud-based schedules, trends, alarms, visualization, and now you can provide to a whole new audience information on indoor air quality so that they know that you're taking seriously the air quality. So if it's a retail location, customers can feel safe. If it's a school, students and parents can feel safe. It's a retirement home, likewise, all stakeholders can see that. And again, that can be done via PDF reports or the live dashboard that comes up with Commander AQ, or we could even build a kiosk mode that shows you just on a screen, again, in a lobby or anywhere that can be publicly visible, or even in an employee break room. Here's the current air quality, here's your current CO2, here's your infection transmissibility score. We can look at multiple variables, but that's just a sample of a couple of these integration and add-ons that we've built in. And, these coffee breaks are meant to be short. Obviously, Tyler is happy to answer any questions you have, and I'm happy to work with him to set up a demo if you guys want more information. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tyler. I think he's got a couple more announcements to make, but thank you so much for your time. I look forward to having more conversations with you. And back to Tyler. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Tim. Feel free to reach out to anybody along with questions, and be sure to join us next week for Travis Cowan and our last coffee break of the year, and we will send an email out for the topic. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.